chain, so you do not get money for your products. I mean, just cents for the liter. So at the end, our economy, which is based on this model, is condemned to bankruptcy, to misery, to hunger. Okay. Second factor which changed the model and was the reason why this Roman classical model has to change and change wrongly into this model I just described. The phylloxera problem in France. French had markets, had brands, but had no products. They had to get all over around to try to get wines from all over the known world, Mediterranean world, North Mediterranean. The oldest grapes planted in northern part of Africa are were planted at the end of the 19th century by the French for these reasons. They needed badly wines, but they had no wines. So they started to buy wines all over around, okay? So big products, big producing units were constructed to serve this demand of wines for the French. What wines did the French buy? Bulk wines. So we have the model.
Yes.
Okay? They couldn't go through thousands of many familiar producers and buy 200 liters here, 500 liters there, 300 there. No, and they had roads and railroads, so at the end,
very easy to transport.
Very easy to transport. And the problem grew bigger here in the south. Why shall we bottle? Why shall we put our wines in casks? We do farm over here. Okay, we are very clever. The French are very stupid. We just sit over here. Okay, you understand? Okay, and the stupid French come and buy everything from us. Okay, and we demand every year higher price. By the way, from what period are all these beautiful, nice palais, bodegas built in all the southern part of Europe?
I think this is the second end of the 19th century.
At the beginning of the 20th century. Why? Why? Because of the fortunes that were earned or won selling bulk wines to the French, to the stupid French. You know?
But please tell me, do you think that anything changed? That if not the competition from the New World? Because
but this is much later. We haven't arrived yet.
Yeah.
Okay, we are trying to explain why these French varieties were planted over here.
Yeah.
So this model survived, started in the middle of the 19th century, and survived reasonably well until the 70s, let's say. Okay, but these southern producing regions grew poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer, and the people they were aware of it and decided, no, we have no future of it. I mean, what did the buyers of this bulk wine say? Well, you with your local wines, you never can do anything with it. Initially, the market belonged to the producers, but 100 years later, it was dominated by the buyers, not by the sellers. So the tortilla changed completely. Okay? Initially, we were very clever, sitting here, not bottling, not working at all, and the stupid French coming over here and buying our wines. And at the end, we were the poor producers there, starving, okay? No way of surviving, and the clever French ones, for French people, buying wines very, very, very cheaply. At this moment, people started to say, so if the French or the buyers say that our wines are no good, okay, and that they need to be smoother, silkier, deeper, rounder, etc. Why don't we put the so-called variedades mejorantes? How do you translate that into English?
Improving
varieties, improving grapes. And at that time, Cabernet Sauvignon, Shiraz, Merlot, all these varieties were planted in these regions with the idea that putting these so-called improving varieties to the local wines could be sold better and started to be bottled. And that's the only reason why they were planted. With the time, it showed that it was a big mistake, because at the end, it doesn't exist an improving variety. What the hell means that the Cabernet Sauvignon improves the Bobal? I mean, the problem is not in improving the Bobal, the problem is in doing the Bobal properly. And this didn't start to be done until 10, 20 years later, when the new generations of winemakers with a beautiful education, beautiful technical level, started to together with entrepreneurs and winemakers to invest in technology, in stainless steel, in cooling machines and so. And then the tortilla changed dramatically and definitively. So at once there was no Bobal that had to be made nicer, adding, improving varieties, but the Bobal by itself was a variety totally comparable to these French ones, or these Argentinian ones, or Italian ones, or Greek ones, or Asian ones. Okay. Together with this, a new situation was created because of the factor we just mentioned. The mentality changed, and the socio-economical model was completely put upside down. Okay. Traditional model, initially Roman model, 150 years long, 100 years. The bulk model, few bodegas, very big ones, okay, bulk producers, and economically depressed regions. This model started to be substituted at the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s by a new model. Which is this new model?
This is the high quality products made by the local specialists with the local terroir.
That's the actual model which is taking over in all this southern direction. At once, instead of few bodegas and very big ones, many bodegas and very small ones were built. This is an example of it. Okay? No any bulk producing wine anymore. Everything was bottled. Okay? And what the hell about this depressing situation? No, my wines, they are not good for anything. I have to add Cabernet Sauvignon. I have no chance. I can sell them only bulk. No, wait a minute. Let's be a little bit proud of what we do. Let's put a flag. Let's call it chauvinism. I don't care. Okay? And let's defend local values. Okay? But let's do it well, good. Okay? I mean, not just blah, 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 but with a technical basis, okay? A sound technical basis, okay? Bang, 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 bang. And at once, the situation in the south changed.
But all things that you told are correct. But things which you told, they did one thing. They knew the educated customer, which will be able to say, okay, is more than good. Because, you know, I'm from Poland. I'm from vodka and beer country.
I know Poland, and I know Russia, and I know the eastern countries.
And you know, people know only two kinds of the wine: the white wine and red wine. They don't understand terroir. They don't understand all these nuances which are here. And now we have the supermarket networks. They need the cheap, low quality products, and this is the problem. That, for example, why now in Poland? This is one of the reasons why I hear is the change the opinion about the Bobal, because still in Poland, Bobal is one of the synonym of the cheap Spanish wine which you buy from the lowest shelf. But by the second hand, you can also buy excellent Bobal, but it's different shelf, different price. But only a few people is able to take this better bottle because they have no enough knowledge. You have to.
I understand this process perfectly, and this process isn't any different at all as the process which other countries, other people has gone through. Why can we sell Bobal to a high quality Bobal to a reasonably high prices? Because the market had an evolution, okay? The markets with long experience in wine drinking, okay? They started all drinking low popular wines in the 18th century, 19th century, beginning of the 20th century. But at once people started to say, well, I have been drinking these wines for all my life long, okay? I have been eating at McDonald's or at Burger King all my life long, okay? I have been drinking Coca-Cola all my life long. I have been dressing with Farah or whoever all my life long. Look, I'm not rich, but I didn't start to deserve myself to try other things. It's not that I hate Coca-Cola, but I mean, I'm starting to be tired of Coca-Cola. So, and with wines happens the same. The Germans and the British, they put out a concept, Coca-Cola wine. In German, Coca-Cola Weine, okay, plural. Coca-Cola wines. People with a long cultural tradition in wines are up to here of Coca-Cola wines, okay? And some of these people start to look after new experiences.
Something more sophisticated.
Yeah, not that they are rich, or not they are stupid, or not that they are fancy, and I do not eat burger, I do not dress with that, I only dress with, I don't know.
Handmade things.
Yeah, they are normal people, but they say at once, look, I mean, why don't we, let's make this year a trip instead to Mallorca. Why don't we go to North Africa and have a new experience, or here in Spain? Why don't we go to Warsaw? Why don't we go to Braga, to Budapest? Many years people here in Spain could not travel over there, you know. I mean, let's open our mind, okay? Well, Paris is very nice, London is very nice, Rome is very nice, but I'm starting to get a little bit tired of Rome, Paris, and London, okay? And New York, well, in the last years, you know, as increased New York, I start to hate New York. It's always the same. Why don't we try anything else? Let's try India, let's try Australia, or let's try Prague, Budapest, or Warsaw, okay? In wines, happens exactly the same. So Bobal is like Malbec from Argentina, or there are so many varieties, local varieties, which are trying to, in this a little bit more cultivated societies, try to find its place in the shelf. But they will not find the place in the shelf until the consumer has passed through all this process of learning, of...
I understand what you mean exactly, but the problem is right now, in my country exactly, that on the shelf,
yeah,
you can buy only one kind of Bobal.
yeah.
And this is the really bad, cheap wine. The problem is that probably it's necessary next 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 years. I'm not a prophet, I'm not able to tell you.
Nobody is a prophet.
How many times will be, because you know, in some regions in France, as say Rodin or Bordeaux,
yeah,
wine become the brand.
Yeah.
You say Bordeaux, it can be bullshit, not the
Yeah,
wine,
yeah, yeah.
But
let's say Rioja.
Rioja.
So that the French do not feel,
Yeah.
attacked. Here in Spain,
Yeah.
Rioja is icon.
yeah,
You have beautiful Riojas, but you have bullshit.
yeah.
Rioja too. So it's,
The market Rioja very often was worse than cheap Argentinian wine.
Exactly, and that was so for some years, until the consumer getting a higher cultural level or knowledge of wine started to be aware of this and started to discriminate and say, well, yes, Rioja, yes, but I'm not going to buy any Rioja. Rioja? Yeah, what the hell? No. I buy this one. This one. And this is a evolution which has to be still taking place in the market, and by the consumers and by the producers.
We spent 3 days in Alicante. We was visiting maybe 20 restaurants, maybe 25, and you have lots of the wines, but all are Ribera del Duero or Rioja. There is no chance, a few hidden specialist shops to buy the local Alicante wine.
Monastrell grade.
Forget. Tempranillo, 100% Tempranillo.
Because the consumer, there is a big part of the consumers still in this country with a long wine growing tradition, which still has not undergone this intellectual revolution. Yes, like in Poland, maybe in Poland it's 5 minutes later, okay, the revolution. But it's still, I mean, in some parts of France, this revolution is still to be done. Or in New York, or in London, what the hell, or in Holland. I mean, yeah. But that's the way, the future is going this way, okay? There will be people which will start to demand different things. They get tired of this dressing all around the world the same way, drinking all around the world the same drinks, and eating the same food stuff.
By the second hand, if you taste Rioja, you can see that it's 5, maybe 6 types, and the rest have the same taste.
Yeah. That's a good example. Yes, I agree.
People are looking for some new feelings, some new experience, and this is the reason why some local terroir grapes as Boba have a big chance.
I mean, we believe that they have a chance in this always more international, more globalized world, in which everything is painted in grey. Okay, everything is painted in green, and people say, well, yes, but I want here a red flower, I want here some yellow, I want here some green, and well, I mean, we are nothing like that. Yeah. But we are this small dot of color, which will be in this grey world. Okay, and there is a chance for small bodegas like us and of course, Bobal is maybe one of these vectors which will open for a very small part of clients, because in London, 90%, 95% of the consumers will take the cheapest wine they can get from this.
I have one question for you. Please tell me, how many producers of the Utiel-Reguena region have your point of view? How many people? Because when I was driving here, I have seen huge cooperativas with the huge tanks, old model. And please tell me, how many producers rather choose your way? How many producers would decide to go by old but maybe safe roads?
I tell you, wine producers in the region about 200, a little bit less. Okay, bottling about 46, 47, with the same philosophy as us, 7.
Rest decide to
no, they bottle Murviedro Guardia, Schenk, in the Swiss group. They sell about €1 bottle. It has to taste every year about exactly the same. Okay, and it has to be cheap, 20 million bottles per year. Well, it's a model. I mean, they have money. I cannot do that.
But you can see them in every supermarket from Ural to Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
On the lowest shelf always.
Yeah. Look, if Coca-Cola would not exist, we would have to invent it.
Yeah.
Okay? If Burger King or McDonald's wouldn't exist, we would have to invent it. But once having got its place in the market, we have to recognize that, well, they have to be there, but I mean, there are more possibilities than these ones, okay? Okay, I eat once in a month or once every 2 months. I live a long time in the States, so I ate there every day, the middle of the day hamburger, okay? So I still do it once in a month, okay? But nowadays, I'm looking for something different. Not fancy, not sophisticated, and not expensive. But let's be a little bit open-minded. I mean, it's supposedly if you grow older, you are supposed to be a little bit wiser and open-minded and so on. That's like wine, okay? And that's what happens with people. If you are young and you do not care, and you have to eat fast and have not much money in your pocket, burger, beer, Coca-Cola, whatever, okay? But as you grow older and get wiser, so you look for another. I mean, when you are young, all girls are beautiful. You like all of them. Oh no, sorry ladies, but we are talking on a psychological, sociological basis, okay? All girls are good looking for you, aren't they?
Exactly.
When you are a teenager. Yeah. But as you grow older, what happens? You look for, I mean,
you are going
and so do ladies
more
with gentlemen for
to
sure.
the library than to the nightclub.
For example, even if you once in a while you go with your wife, with your partner, with your girlfriend, whatever, go to the nightclub too, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you have not to reject the other thing, but you have to have more.
You can make the choice.
Exactly. And that's where bodegas like us, or people like us, with our philosophy, with our mentality, have a chance. I mean, we cannot compete with these huge producing units with millions of kilos of bottles. We have not the money, we have not the capital, we have not the facilities.
But you know that this is the. I'm so glad to hear this kind of that some people decide to not choose the simplest way to find a contract with some global retail network and sell millions liters of bullshit.
Look, Carrefour,
Yeah.
not among us, okay, has come to us 3 years trying to buy our products. We have told them no. At the end, they are the ones who take us like that over there.
Yeah.
And squeezing, no.
If someone takes 80% of your production, you become the boss.
Yeah, put a bullet in your head. It's cheaper.
Yes.
It's faster. It's easier. Well, maybe you were talking too much and not showing too much.
No.
Maybe
It's
ladies
okay,
are getting bored with our gentlemen's discussions here. Okay, sorry, I
It
apologize.
was really.
No, I go with you.
Okay.
Les has explicado un poco, have you explained a little bit
Acabamos
about...
de empezar,